Hello guys and welcome to episode 1 of What the Tech, whereby we are giving you the tech news wrap up. The reason why we did this is because it's not always that we get to give you tech news in a video format. And sometimes whenever we review something, there's a little story that we would like to tell, and putting it on a video form is going to be a little out of the ordinary and it might take some time. So this would be the place whereby we talk about the latest tech news. But I'm not alone. I have one of our teammates, Syed. So yes, Syed, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Syed. I am the main tech writer here, the only tech writer for now.
Yes, for now. Moving forward, Syed is going to be, typically he's the host and also the one who's going to be compiling the tech news. Remember I mentioned about how that we do have YouTube, we do have a website, which is www.adamlobo.tv. It's a place whereby Syed does daily tech news, 5 different tech news, according to what he feels is the best. So now what we're going to do is that this tech podcast is here to help you in terms of understanding what is cool, what has been not mentioned from a video perspective, and also something that we are going to be discussing. And of course, if you have any, inputs that you would like to have, you can put it in the comment section below. And, Syed and I will also interact to you guys over there. It's our very first episode, so we are taking any kind of feedback. If you have any feedback that you want to do, any cool gaming ideas, meaning like some tech games or tech reaction or whatever not, we can actually do something like that as well. So yeah, just feel free. This is our very first episode, and hopefully that this is going to be something that is going to go on until episode 5,000 and make sure Syed is going to be here all the way. Okay, so we all know how podcast works. You can listen to this in the car. You can listen to this while you're doing your work, because it's going to be a long one. And it can be a discussion where if you want to participate, you can either comment in the comment section below, or, just give us your feedback, or you can also give any sort of things that you have in mind or anything that excites you, and let us know in the community tab or even in our comment section below. Okay, Syed, so we do have a very interesting tech news, and can you just tell us what do we have, what are the roundup that we are looking at for today?
Well, okay.
This week.
Yeah, this week it's all about CES and CES every single day. And there were a lot of things that came out during CES 2025, which were, some were very interesting, some were very weird. If you go online, you can find, it ranges from normal consumer tech to more NSFW stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and which is interesting nonetheless, but
Okay, speaking of weird, let's go dive in straight to the weird, right? Let's keep the audience retention up. So what is a weird CES tech that you came across?
I saw, this is it's weird and also quite, depending on how you see it, it's quite dirty, I guess. Yeah, because there's a lot of bodily function kind of things, where...
Oh, yeah. I think there was one whereby there's a spoon. Did you know about the spoon? So
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, apparently...
that spoon
yeah,
thing.
so I don't know whether you guys know this. So apparently there's a spoon which has a artificial way of creating extra salt.
Yeah.
So you can cook your food with less salt. So which means the apit don't have to worry about his gout issues. And then when you eat it, and then it feels like you have, it makes you feel like, oh, the food has salt.
Yeah,
so which means that you can reduce your salt in order to do that. So yeah, that's one thing which I remember. What do you recall?
Oh man, there's actually quite a lot. But yeah, I remember that spoon thing. I remember remarking it to my friends, and you do, like you said, you don't really need to cook with salt anymore. Like you could just have plain water or something with a bit of salt. So, but CES has always been that kind of thing, there's nothing, you can pretty much put out anything on CES.
Yeah, that's true.
It ranges, even trucks. I remember there was this one, the Optimus Prime truck. It was in CES, and this was a couple of years ago, and they had insane tech built into it. So you basically drive like a mini hotel room.
Yeah.
So that's CES for you, man.
Okay. Speaking of CES, I mean, when I first started off YouTube and creating this YouTube channel, CES was like one of the most important tech events. But, like people like MKBHD used to always go there and bring all his great cameras and all. But what are your thoughts about how CES has become less of a priority on certain tech creators? Do you feel the same way? Do you feel like, it's becoming less important, CES, or you still feel it's important? Is this that maybe it is not the content creator's cup of tea? Like, why isn't MKBHD going for CES, for example?
I think CES. I do think that it's one of the premier conventions where tech is concerned, but because there's just so many other tech events, you have. I mean, leading into what we're going to talk about later. I mean, like Unpacked.
Yeah.
Before CES is where people would go to launch their phones and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, brands still do. Nvidia just did with their new graphics cards and whatnot. But I think people brands especially start to see that why should we go to another like a conference tech event when we can do it on our own.
Yeah.
And with our own prerogative, our own style and whatnot. So I guess that's why CES. I guess that's why a lot more content creators are skipping CES.
How about MWC and CES then? Which one do you feel? I know it's called Mobile World Congress, but do you feel like, if you're a tech reviewer, for example, just said, we are doing this. If you had one event to go through, whether it's CES or MWC, which one would you go for?
Speaking from like a guy who loves tech in general and not just phones or mobile devices and whatnot, personally, I would go to CES, but recognizing that MWC has a much wider mainstream audience, if I were to choose between the two, I would go to MWC because you would see a lot more devices that mainstream audience care for.
Yeah.
Like you would not see, especially like Huawei phones and whatnot, you would not see other places. So MWC is the place where you want to see the Huawei phones and whatnot. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I guess MWC, which is, I wouldn't say it's sad, but because there's just so many tech events right now.
I think you're right. I think if I had a choice to go with either is MWC or CES, if I really had to choose between the both, I would go with the MWC because of our target audience. I'm sure you guys love smart home related stuff. As a tech nerd, I would love to go to CES. I wouldn't say that I look forward to it every year, probably because I'm not there. But it as a tech nerd, I would go there. But for content creation, would be MWC. So any brands who's watching, please call us to go there. Okay, let's go into CES now. What is the top news other than the weird tech you're talking about? Although you didn't mention specifically what it is, probably is a lot. But
it's a lot.
So if you guys want, you can go and check it out. But the salt thing there was quite funny. So besides what's weird, what is the top 3 news of the week?
For
CES.
For CES, I think the biggest one would be the RTX 50 cards.
Got it.
From Nvidia. I'm quite surprised and quite impressed with the cards right now. Although I do feel that it's a bit expensive.
Okay.
Like it starts with the 5070. It starts, from 500 plus USD, which is a pretty penny. I mean, like, which means that in order for you to get the baseline 50 cards in your rig, you will have to spend upwards of maybe 5K just to accommodate that.
Wow.
So, I mean, Yeah, I mean it does sound a lot, but to a PC like power user who doesn't really care about price, they're going to be fine with it.
Do you see gamers spending 5,000 over ringgit to rig their rig, and to really rig up their overall gaming PC to buy the new cards which is out right now? What is your opinion on that?
Enthusiasts will do whatever it takes to get the best out of the best. But if I were to say personally, in today's economic climate, I people would think twice.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 times, maybe even 4 times.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more outlets for you to like play games now.
Yeah.
You have consoles are getting much better. There's like the Nintendo Switch, which is one of the biggest consoles in recent memory to come out. The Switch 2 is coming, so that is also a factor. And the PS5 is still going strong, even though I would say that the PS5. I think the PS5 lacks a bit in terms of games. I mean, like PS5 games. But yeah, there's a lot more outlets now for people to play games. Even phones. I mean, like the upcoming ROG Phone 9 Pro review. We mentioned a bit about PC emulation in the teaser.
Yeah, good. It's a good teaser. Yeah, correct.
So you want to know more, you can watch the video. You can watch the review when it comes out soon.
Correct.
But yeah, there's a lot more. But coming back to the question, like would people spend 5K on rigs? People already do.
Wow. Okay.
Now upwards to 5K and more.
Okay.
I personally know a friend who his rig alone costs almost 20K. Because he has a 4090, he has I can't remember his other specs, but it's all high end specs, and he even has like 3 monitors on his PC, two main monitors and 1 small monitors for streaming and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, people would spend 5K and more.
Now the reason why I asked this question is because I'm sure you all who have been watching the videos here, we hardly do gaming related stuff. And just to give you context, whenever it's gaming related, I always refer to Syed in the team. So at least you all understand what's happening behind the scenes. Because I'm not a heavy gamer, right? And for me, the reason why we don't do a lot of gaming content is because I'm personally not a huge gamer. But if you guys are interested on the further discussion on what Syed has mentioned, well, you can always comment in the comment section below for you to find out more information. For me, I wouldn't spend 5,000 ringgit on a graphic card alone. That is also because I'm not a gamer. Yeah. But if I was a gamer, I think that is something whereby I would feel like I would put it, because it's, like, especially people who are into esports, like being a full-time esports player, 5,000 ringgit for a very good investment for you to be a better gamer, a better player, and to have your rig gone up. I think that's good. So is CES a place where graphic cards are always being announced, or you feel like this year has been a bit more extra in terms of the announcements?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it was extra. I would say that it's pretty normal-ish, I guess.
Okay.
You would expect something like this coming from something like CES.
Speaking of gaming, you did mention about Nintendo Switch. So there's apparently an article which you wrote about a 3D mock-up of Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
So tell us about more on that context.
Okay, so that came out of CES as well. An accessory maker called Genki, if I remember correctly. They came out with a 3D mock-up of what the Nintendo Switch 2 would look like. I mean, we don't know what it's going to be called. So as of right now, people are calling it the Switch 2. So it looks interesting. It looks okay. If you look at it like at first glance, it looks almost the same as the first one, but you can tell it's bigger. It's slightly bigger. If I'm not wrong, it's about you get an 8-inch screen.
Wow. What's the current Switch for the Switch One? Is it 7? I think it's 7.
I think but 7 or slightly smaller. I can't remember.
Got it. Okay.
But they did some redesigns with the Joy-Cons. It's now apparently it's magnetically attached,
Okay.
rather than a slider thing.
Got it.
Which personally I've never been a fan of, because it's a bit tedious. I mean, it's okay if you like take it out once in a while, but if you do it like every single time, just to, because I play a lot of party games with my siblings at home, like Mario Kart or
I absolutely suck. Just so you all know, I suck at Mario Kart. I suck in gaming in general. I always lose to my wife. Yeah, I tried playing Mario Kart. So there's a similar Mario Kart version, but it's for PS5, which is Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Even that I suck.
I haven't tried that yet. Actually,
I bought it for 100 over ringgit on freaking PlayStation Store. Because she was like, oh, let's play the PS5. This was on first day of January, because usually we have this ritual whereby like whatever we do in the 1st of January will be more chill, so that we have a more chilled out year. Yeah, never worked out for me. But yeah, so are you good at Mario Kart? Is Syed good at Mario Kart? Everybody needs to know.
Oh, drum roll, please. Nope.
Okay, so do I. Okay, so here's another spoiler alert. The Lenovo Legion Go S. The good news is that we will be reviewing it. So that's the benefit of having this podcast
Very excited about
video. So I can't talk about it much because I went to the briefing. You have not. So this is based on what you have seen on CES, what has been announced already, and what is your prediction on how the Lenovo Legion Go S is?
Okay. For starters, for those who don't know, the Legion Go S has 2 versions. There's a Windows version, and then there's also one that's running SteamOS, which is the same operating system as the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And don't quote me on this, but if I remember correct, if I'm not wrong, it is the first handheld that's licensed by Valve to run SteamOS.
Okay.
I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, do let me know in the comments. But so that is interesting. That is interesting and very. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I am very intrigued in testing that one, because that for me personally, that came out of left field, because I did not expect that at all. When of course there were rumors that Lenovo was making a smaller version of their Legion Go S, which I didn't get to try, but I saw it. I saw someone playing it, and it was huge.
Yeah.
Like what, 11-inch screen, and then
so the S is a new one.
Yeah.
The previous one is just called Lenovo Legion Go.
Yeah.
And it was quite a huge screen.
Yeah.
And you could detach the joypads, right?
Yeah.
And I found it quite interesting. I was actually waiting for it to come to Malaysia, but unfortunately it did not. So let's hope that the Lenovo Legion Go S comes to Malaysia. But then again, if it's not coming to Malaysia, why are we reviewing it? So I guess that would be in a certain spoiler way. So yeah, we were very excited with that. And especially for you who really dabble so much into gaming, that is good. Okay, another 2 more things which you covered in our channel, in our website, which relates to Samsung. So yeah, before we talk about Unpacked, which everybody's excited, Syed actually also does the YouTube community poll. So he actually put up a poll recently about what are you guys excited, and according to the poll, a lot of people are excited with drum roll. You can just check it out.
All right. They're actually excited for the normal S25 series.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I want to talk about Samsung AI Vision first.
Yeah, sure.
Then after we can go back to Unpack, because one of the things that you list there was the rumored slim version of the S25.
Yeah.
So I totally forgot about that, because I heard that iPhone might be having the iPhone 17 Air. I think that this has to do with a new battery technology. So we're going to go back to that in a while. Let us talk about Samsung's AI Vision. So you wrote about that recently. So what is exactly Samsung AI Vision? Is this a new Bixby? What is Samsung AI Vision? Explain for people who are not aware, like Upbeat at the back there.
Okay, so Vision AI is something like Galaxy AI on the S24 and the foldables, but for their TVs.
Got it.
So basically, Samsung is implementing AI to give you a better viewing experience. Not just viewing experience; it's more of an experience in itself.
Yeah.
Because Samsung is targeting not just what you watch, but your likes and dislikes based on what you watch.
Lovely.
So they're introducing like these features like click to search, where it's pretty much like the circle to search on Galaxy AI, but for TV. I mean, you can't actually circle to search on a TV.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
So the next best thing is for you to like click on whatever you like. You see, maybe you're watching a food video, like someone cooking steak or whatnot. So you just click on it, or maybe someone.
So what do you pause the video and then you like? Is there a cursor or how does it work?
There's not much information regarding that yet,
Okay.
but I would assume that maybe just like circle to search, whatever you're seeing, you just immediately click on it.
Nice.
So that's they also have this live translate that's coming to.
I want to discuss about that. So how does this live translate work actually?
Pretty much just like how it works on Galaxy AI. So based on the presentation video I saw, it's like you're watching whatever show or video or not, and then you just ask the TV to just translate this to Spanish, and it comes out like Spanish text at the bottom. So, I mean, obviously, I don't know how well it's going to work out, and how it's going to work here in Malaysia, because we don't actually speak Spanish here. I mean, unless you take classes. But maybe, it took a while for even Galaxy AI to have Bahasa Melayu, right? Bahasa Malaysia, right?
Yeah. So I was doing a series of on-ground events for Galaxy AI. It really opened up my eyes on AI in general, where Samsung has really nailed it, right? It's been very consistent. It's been very good. I've been also really playing around with Gemini AI. And I would say that consistency and working hand in hand with Samsung devices, Galaxy AI is the best.
Yeah.
That's why Arun Maini said, it's so good. It's very reliable. At the same time, it is good from a day-to-day usage. The amount of people who have a Galaxy device who have no idea that, wow, this works, and I didn't know that my phone had this, especially to the uncles and aunties, which huge shout out to them because they were very, very excited to learn about the Samsung Galaxy AI device. Based on what I saw on Samsung AI Vision, there was this like a circle to search kind of thing. Search. I think one of the things that they also talked about is that, like you see this particular actor. I think Amazon has that, and even Apple TV already has that, whereby like they will pop out who is acting. They will like this down there. Yeah. So I know Amazon started that first, and then Apple had it recently for the latest TV OS update. I am very sure that Samsung is gonna make it even cooler. I'm sure like their search results are great, because one huge rumor, in case you all did not know, is that when Galaxy AI is released or announced for the S25 series, apparently there's going to be more hand-in-hand collaboration together with Google's Gemini, together with Galaxy AI. That's the rumor, right? Because apparently, like for example, the current best integration with Gemini and Galaxy AI is the circle to search.
Yeah.
Because that's why they call it circle to search with Google. So I'm eager to see that. But my biggest question about Samsung AI Vision on the subtitling is that how much of a delay is going to be? You see, like, call me old school, but when I watched those subtitles, especially the ones which did not have subtitles, like I always try to go and download the SRT files and try to load it into whatever I can watch in order for me to get, for example, Naruto or Bleach and stuff, because it's already coded based on the time code. So I'm eager to see whether or not it's going to really go away. Like, for example, like Just imagine the old school Bruce Lee dub whereby like he finished talking and then after the thing comes out. So I know they will do a good job, but I agree with you. I think that is something whereby we need to test and see.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they also announced the Samsung Frame Pro. Samsung Frame TVs has always been one of my favorites, right? We reviewed the first generation. Lee Hood and I was very excited with it because that time was just the both of us. So apparently now the Samsung Frame Pro has a brighter display because that's one of the common complaints coming from a lot of users saying that, oh, the frame looks nice, but it's not bright enough. But I don't know whether you know this, but what really got me excited was the fact that, the one box system.
Okay, yeah.
Now it works wirelessly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So that is something which has been announced. And I was like, finally, because if you think about it, if you are in the video production industry, wireless transmission has been around for the longest time. Why don't you let us do for the same? I hate the fact that, you mount your TV on the wall and then you have like one wire coming down.
Yeah.
So what's cool is that you can have the plug point on the TV, mount it there, make it really look like a frame. You don't have any wires going down. And based on some of the videos I saw on people who were at CES, apparently the latency is like super good. So that is something whereby I am eager for us to try. So hopefully Samsung sends over their Samsung Frame TV.
Yeah, please.
So that would be Samsung AI Vision. Lots to be expected and what we can really get excited about. I really want to review the Samsung Frame TV this year because I really want to test out this whole idea of having that, and who knows, we can replace this TV with a frame at the back there. Thank you, Samsung. Okay, let's talk about the most exciting thing. I guess it is 2 weeks away. I think on Monday. Today is Friday. Just so you all know, they finally made the announcement that Unpacked is going to be on the 23rd of January, which is US time, but Malaysians will be on the 24th of January. I think like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Based on what you saw, and based on the poll that you put up, let's talk about the one which is the most not obvious, which is that slim version.
Yeah.
So what have you heard specifically on that particular model, and why do you think that it is coming?
Okay, honestly speaking, I don't really know what to expect from the Slim. If you were to take the name literally, I guess like you said, battery technology. Maybe because maybe they won't be using a normal lithium battery.
Yeah.
So they'll be maybe using one of those carbon batteries with the thin ones, and maybe they'll split it into two.
So it's carbon batteries, like because MKBHD and David Emel mentioned it in the Waveform podcast. So it's called carbon batteries.
Yes, there's a specific name which escapes me right now, but it's a carbon based battery. Yeah.
It's funny because it's a mind blowing technology. It's something new, but they really like no one made a big deal out of it. People make a big deal out of a lot of things, but if you're going to make a very thin battery, that should be talked about more. That's why, like, for example, phones like the Vivo X200 Pro and the Oppo Find X8 Pro, you had devices which are smaller. And now even the OnePlus 13, which we will get that soon. We're just overwhelmed with stuff. So I just feel like it should be mentioned, right? So why do you think it's not being mentioned?
Off the top of my head, maybe Samsung's going to be like, surprise!
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe because they don't want to give anything away yet.
Okay, so from a scale to 10, what is the chances that they will be announcing a brand new S25 Slim or Air or Lite? They like the word light, I think, a little more, right?
Yeah.
Because like last time there's the S10 Lite, remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I guess...
From a scale to 10?
Scale out of 10, maybe 7.8.
Good. Guys, if you have your own guesses, you can put it in the comment section below. For me, I don't think there's going to be one. But here's the thing. Jaime Rivera, you all know Jaime Rivera. He has his own YouTube channel, guys, in case you never follow him. He was from Pocket Now Daily. So he did a video about how there was even two rumors, which was quite interesting. Number one is the Galaxy Ring. Apparently, there's going to be an announcement for version 2 is going to be coming out.
Okay.
We, unfortunately, here in Malaysia, we didn't get version 1. So I hope version 2, and if there's going to announce it, because I never tried a ring as a tracker. I have the Whoop Band, I have the Apple Watch, I use the Samsung Galaxy Ultra Watch. So I never tried a ring. I would love to try a ring, and I'm sure, like people who don't like to wear stuff to sleep.
Yeah.
So that is one of the heaviest rumor, which is the second generation of that. And another one is actually glasses, like an AR glasses. So that's also what Jaime Rivera was mentioning. And I was like, that could be something cool. And I feel that probably, maybe those two things might be announced more, but I might be wrong. But yeah, that whole slim air thing, I think that could be coming just for the sake of having. But the leak shows that the overall design is the same, right?
Yeah.
It looks lebih kurang the same as the S25 4 series.
I think the biggest change would be the S25 Ultra, I guess. Based on the leaks and whatnot, which I saw, it's more in line with the S25 Plus. S25 Plus, S25. The curved, instead of the boxy design that you see from the previous Ultras and the Notes. It's gonna be more in line with the
more curved.
Yeah, more curved.
Oh God,
curved with flat.
Please
sides.
make it more.
Your favorite.
No, I hope it's gonna be more boxy. But you know what? Now is 2 weeks away. Yeah. So next week we can discuss this further. Probably, you will find some very interesting news, which is going to be up on our website once again, www.adamlobo.tv. So yeah, I think that is what we have so far in terms of the Galaxy Unpacked. And of course, we are looking forward for more news. So probably next Friday when we have this podcast again, we can actually discuss this further. So hopefully we can release this tech roundup every Saturday for you guys to actually get this as well. So that concludes our tech news. What's exciting next week, I guess, would be the Unpacked. Is there anything else that you came across that next week is going to be a bit more interesting, or we are still looking at Unpacked mainly?
I think in terms of unconfirmed but highly anticipated news is the Unpacked.
Yeah.
And the Switch 2, honestly.
Yeah. So the Switch 2 is rumored to be also when are they planning to release?
There's so many rumors, but the strongest one that I've come across is there's supposed to be some kind of announcement or maybe some allusion towards the Switch 2 like this month with an expected launch in this spring.
Got it.
But the January announcement was expected to be at CES, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
We got a 3D mock-up, which is the closest we can get. But it's just rumors. Everything's up in the air right now.
Yeah. So once again, at the end of the week, things might change. That's the thing about tech, right? It's like today we got nothing. Tomorrow it's
so
like there's a lot of
fast.
stuff.
The tech.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we
fast.
did this podcasting, so that we can have a discussion, talk about this, share with you guys. You can be driving, you can be doing your housework and listen to this. And if you find any interesting topics, you can let us know. Or if you want to cover anything else, you can let us know. Another reason why we did this podcast is to also give you a little more context on the videos that we've done. By the time you're watching these videos, this particular podcast, there'll be 2 videos up, which is the Poco X7 versus the Poco X7 Pro. I will start first to say that it is the first time, like I mentioned in the video, that there is a differentiation between the X7 and the X7 Pro. It looks like it was not from the same series. It's so funny. Yeah. I still don't understand their their specs decision on having Victus 2 on the non-Pro and the 7i on the Pro. So, but then again, I have never been a huge fan of the X series. For me, the F series, and everyone who's watching our channel know that the F series has always been our personal favorite, especially the Poco F3. So yeah, for me, I think it's a no-brainer that we're going to do an in-depth review of the Poco X7 Pro. If you have anything that you want us to test further, let us know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll just do my typical review. What are your thoughts about the Poco X7 and the X7 Pro?
They look nice, honestly speaking.
Both?
This time
You also think that the X7 looks nice? The silver samurai look.
Personally, I like the X7 more because of the how clean and how chromed out it looks. I'm not a huge fan of chrome, but it's really nice to look at. In practical use, chrome is no, or silver is because when it gets scuffed, oof, you can see it very clearly.
Yeah.
But I cannot deny it looks nice.
Yeah.
It looks really nice. And for the X7 Pro, I like the two-tone design. It reminds me like something like Bumblebee, you know?
Yeah.
Like-
and it's the texture. It looks like a 2025 phone, right? It looks like a brand new phone that was released this year. That's why when I saw it, I'm like, and I never ever held a yellow color phone. Like Poco has their yellow phones,
Yes.
but whenever Xiaomi sends us a review unit, it has never been the yellow color. I'm like, why? Can you just give me a yellow color phone? And I think we might have did. I think the M series, I must check with Liu because he will know better. But the way it was textured nicely. But you know what? We will leave it up to you guys. If you feel like, hey, Adam, let's not review the X7 Pro and review the X7 because we need to give back the units back to Xiaomi Malaysia. And we get to choose which one we want to take back to review. So let us know once again in the comment section below. Otherwise, means I'll just review the Pro because I like the Pro. But if you guys prefer for us to review the X7, it's fine. The next one is the Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus. I'm not sure whether you played around with it as much because it was during the break in December. So I guess I will take over here. Now, the Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus, I have to be totally honest. The Redmi series was a phone whereby it's like, oh, it's there, but it has never been really over my radar. Meaning like to a point whereby like, oh, I'm excited for it to release. It's always that one phone that Xiaomi releases early of the year. When I was looking back at all of the videos, it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Oh yeah, it makes sense. So when Xiaomi reached out for us to review the device, they actually reached out in December. I was like, huh? Because some more phones, they said, oh no, this is to release. This is for the embargo. We need to sign the embargo to release it in the month of January for the video. They went with a very interesting direction for their whole marketing thing. Thankfully, they didn't do an honor and went all out with the durability. They said that, durability is one of the things because especially for within a smartphone within price range. But of course, people are going to be comparing that with the honors of the world. But one thing that really stood out to me on the Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus, other than the durability, was really so much on the AI features. Because I think HyperOS is working very nicely together with Google. So the AI for a smartphone within that price range, I think is pretty good. So that video is out. If the YouTube algorithm did not help you on the notification bell, make sure to just go back to the channel and check those two videos out. We got a bunch of phones that are going to be released next week. So do subscribe if you haven't and hit the notification bell icon because there is the Asus ROG 9 Pro, the ROG Phone 9 Pro. That is quite a video, which Apit finished like 5 a.m. last night. So please give him some love. Yeah. So that was quite an interesting phone. That one was a bit more reviewed and written by Syed, in case you all did not know, because he was very excited with the phone and then we bounce off ideas. Lehut, our other teammate, is working on the video, almost done. The Vivo X200 Pro versus the Oppo Find X8 Pro.
That's gonna be
that video is also going to come in. I'm telling you all, it's going to be very exciting because even there were a lot of areas I'm like, huh? It's always like that, because you will never know until you really compare it side by side.
Yeah.
Like certain things that you would think that, oh, Vivo is going to nail this or Oppo is going to nail this, but it's never the case. I've been also using the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL the first time because I've always used the base model. That's why I reviewed the base model 9. I used the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL for a month, the whole month of December. So you can see a lot of Christmas photos. I've already used it, scripted, shot my A-roll. So Lihu will be working on that next week.
How's vanilla vanilla Android experience?
I still wouldn't call it vanilla because it still has your so-called pixel screen.
Okay.
But I think my biggest experience was really, I guess because I did the on-ground event for Gemini. Gemini is something else, bro. I'm in the video, spoiler alert, I mentioned about how I might stop my ChatGPT subscription because
Wow, really?
the conversational style, the way how you can interrupt in between is just mind-blowing. You'd be like, huh? You can actually do that. And like, you know how you have circled the search, like even Apple Intelligence has the thing whereby you put the camera and all and it calls ChatGPT and all. I still feel the way Gemini AI does it way much better. And the fact that it works so seamlessly within the Pixel 9 Pro XL is so good. For me, that was the experience. And then I never use face unlock on any other phones except for iPhone.
Okay.
The face unlock for the Pixel 9 Pro feels like a totally different experience.
How so?
Because when you unlock it, you have haptics.
Oh, wow.
And also there's an animation coming from the screen. It makes you feel like, wow. Like
Like an event.
Exactly. So, but because it's using... is not using like the same technology as iPhone, so at night you cannot unlock. But because there's a fingerprint sensor, so that's sorted. So that is something that we are already, hopefully will be released by end of next week. I'll be going for Unpacked, so you can follow us on Instagram for the live review. So we are trying to get all of this out before Unpacked, so make sure to subscribe. I also just started using the Oppo Reno 13 Pro.
Okay.
So I took a couple of pictures yesterday because the weather was amazing with blue skies. So I took a pictures. So that one maybe probably come in 2 weeks' time or probably after Unpacked. But yeah.
Looking forward to it.
So those are the videos that is coming soon. So stay tuned. And once again, if the YouTube algorithm decided not to give you notification on that, we can go. With that, we'd like to say thank you so much. We don't know how long is this podcast. Is that episode 1? Ideally, remember, these conversations that Syed and I have is something that we entirely within the team have. And at least it gives us give you a better context on what we've been working behind the scenes and probably certain things that we never mentioned in the video, similar like how other content creators does it. So we are totally open for any ideas that you have. If you feel like you want us to dabble a little more on the gaming side of things, you can comment in the comment section below, or you have any ideas, or we can just stick to this. I also want to say thank you guys because in the end of the day, we wouldn't start this tech podcast if you did not agree for us to do it, because we always ask the questions on our YouTube community page. And when we ask you all whether or not should we do this on a separate channel, because that's what the YouTube creators, the people who gives all the advices, like the Eds of the world, they say, if you're doing content which you need to niche down more and you need to create a separate channel, which we were prepared to create a separate channel. But based on your votes on the YouTube community page, you all felt that it's going to be within the channel because it's tech anyway. Yeah. So like MKVHD and team have a separate waveform podcast on a separate channel. So we thought that would make sense. But since you guys like it here in this channel, you can be rest assured that we'll be releasing this weekly on a Saturday night for you to be informed what is happening in the world of tech and for you to understand what's coming soon as well.
I guess if we collaborate with like other tech creators, local tech creators, maybe we can create another channel. Just to make things more exclusive. Not exclusive, like keeps things like common ground for everyone.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. So I think in the end of the day, the purpose of this is to help you to understand. Some people are not so aware with the tech news, and we wanted this to be a platform where you actually are aware of certain things that is happening in the tech world other than, going online. And if you feel like you just want to listen to this while you're doing something else, or if you feel like you don't want to read the content that our main site does it. But www.adamlobo.tv, there is the place where you can get all the daily tech news if you don't want to wait until the end of the week. My name is Adam Lobo.
My name is Syed.
And we will see you guys next week. Thank you.